But comedy is something that I've always kind of found easy for want of a better word. It's like I know how to make people laugh, I think. So it's something that is really fun for me, and I've found myself, yeah, getting cast in a lot of comedies and playing a lot of roles where I am very close to myself.
So firstly, Claire, I just wanted to congratulate you on Play Dirty, your most recent film. I know that it's been #1 worldwide on Prime Video. So do you remember where you were and what your reaction was when you got the call to say that you'd be playing Brenda in the film?
I do actually remember, and thank you. I was in my house and I got a call from my agent at like, I think it was like maybe 8:30 at night. So definitely an after hours call. And it was one of those ones where I had both of my agents on the phone. So that's always a good sign when you hear, I'm just going to patch through someone else. And yeah, they said that I had the role and they didn't want to keep me waiting any longer. So that was why they called me after hours. But yeah, I remember being kind of in shock and very excited. I always say that like the best time as an actor is when you found out you got the job but you haven't started the job yet. That's like the perfect time when like it hasn't really sunk in, but you're just like really excited. So I rode that wave for a good week, I reckon, before I realized I had to kind of actually do it.
Amazing. And your character is super funny. You have great comedic timing as you do
Thank
in some of your
you.
other comedy things. So I was just wondering, is there something specific about the comedy genre that you really enjoy or that you like working in?
Yeah, I really love comedy. It comes very naturally to me. I know like some actors, some dramatic actors say that like comedy is the hardest thing, but to me, like the thought of having to cry on set with 100 people around is way more tricky. To me, like dramatic, that sort of like accessing emotion is kind of a it's not as it's a bit more it's harder to kind of pin down. It's sort of, for me, it's more intuitive and emotional. It depends how I am on the day. So, but comedy is something that I've always kind of found easy for want of a better word. It's like I know how to make people laugh, I think. So it's something that is really fun for me, and I've found myself, yeah, getting cast in a lot of comedies and playing a lot of roles where I am very close to myself. And all I kind of come in and do is just try and make people laugh and bring a bit of lightness and humor. So it's really nice to kind of have fun at work and go and do a job and not kind of be stressing about, am I going to get that single tear? So I really love it.
Amazing. And
Yeah.
speaking of, how you were saying when you're doing comedic roles, you can more so be yourself and bring yourself to the project. Do you find that a little more difficult, or do you find it harder to be someone kind of completely opposite to how you are?
I love being really far away from myself. Like my one of the reasons I love acting is and the thing that I really aim for in my work is to be a chameleon and to be unrecognizable. I'm still like I've never been recognized, which I think is pretty cool. I think like I like to kind of like change my hair. I think if I put on like if I have different hair color, I look really different. I like change my voice, change my facial expressions, change the way I walk. Like it's really, I love playing characters that are really far from myself. And I started out in theatre for 10 years before I kind of transitioned to screen, and a lot of my work was really like really different kind of characters, which was really fun. So it's in a way, it's almost harder to kind of be closer to yourself. Only in that I wonder if people think I'm not doing a very good job of acting. I once had an ex-boyfriend's mum say, "You just play yourself," and I was very offended by that. And I continue to kind of like try to prove that I don't. But if you get called to play a character that's close to you, then that's what you've got to do. And I think drawing from your own experiences and making it as natural as possible and as believable as possible is also a skill in itself. If you can, get the audience to believe that you're a real person, then that's good too.
And obviously, you've worked in TV, film, theater. Is there a particular one of those things that you tend to gravitate towards more, or you enjoy doing more, or you just accept kind of the challenges that come with all of them?
I started out in theatre, like my drama school training was mostly theatre, and when I graduated drama school, I really wanted to do screen, but I just seemed to just get a lot of theatre work, and I'm really grateful for that because in a way it sort of honed my craft and allowed me to refine my process, and I got to work on so many different texts and styles and genres and different directors and casts, and also the work ethic and the discipline of having to perform a play 8 shows a week, rain, hail, or shine, for months at a time. I've never worked harder than I have doing a play. So I think it was really good foundational training. But now it's been a very deliberate choice for me to move into screen and kind of and forge that path because theatre is so taxing on the body emotionally. It doesn't pay as well. So in terms of sustainability, it's been really important to me to kind of, I guess in a way, yeah, like turn my back on theatre a little bit. I would love to go back to it, but for now, I'm really loving learning about being on set, and I'd really like to kind of end up doing the sort of work I was doing on theatre in theatre on screen, so like more characters and more kind of like transformational work. I think, yeah, that'd be really cool. But yeah, right now, film and TV is the focus.
And have you noticed, like going from theater to being on screen, like what was the biggest thing that you've noticed that, was totally opposite from like what you were kind of expecting or really different than how you were working when it was in theater work?
I mean, the craziest stuff is like I remember like the last play I did, it was at Sydney Theatre Company, so it's the flagship theatre company in Australia, and I was getting the bus, packing my lunch, working like on my feet for 8 hours and getting the bus home, and then I remember like the next thing I did was this Amazon TV show, and
Mm.
you get picked up and they're like, what drink would you like waiting in the car? And then you get taken to a trailer to hang out. And then you kind of get asked what you want for breakfast. And you just kind of get treated. You can get very used to that level of care and attentiveness very quickly. And then you go to set and you might do like 2 takes, and then they need to change the lighting or reset, and everyone gets to go sit down in a camp chair, and it's a different kind of focus that's required. You need to kind of be able to turn it on and off really quickly over a really long period. So stuff like when I'm doing film and TV, I don't drink coffee because I need to be able to, nap really quickly. So it's a different kind of energy and focus that's required, I think, over a much more sustained period. But the big difference was, yeah, just how well you get treated. And yeah, that never gets old, and I never take it for granted.
I was also just wondering, is there a specific genre that maybe you've worked in before, but not for like a long period of time, or you haven't you weren't able to jump into it yet, that you would really enjoy?
Yeah, I would really love to do like an indie film where I get to play a character and I have like 6 months lead in, and I can like either learn a skill or like live with the other actors, or like be out in a hut in a cabin in the woods somewhere, like go so deep that when the cameras start rolling I'm not even acting,
Right.
like go method with something, I think would be really fun. And I'd also really love to do like an ensemble cast workplace sitcom or something. Like I love The Office, so something like that would be really, really fun as well.
That
Something
would
where I can really improvise and play in that regard. Yeah.
that would be amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
shout out to the last one I've been watching has been Abbott Elementary, so
Oh,
that
yes.
would be
Yes.
something cool.
Totally. Yes.
And then I was also wanted to talk to you a little bit about you also do writing, and I know you did a one-woman show. So how would you say that, writing in this one-woman show and also performing in it has kind of informed both your writing and acting journey along the way?
Yeah, so I wrote this play because I wasn't being given, I felt that I wasn't getting my foot in the door in the theatre scene in Sydney. I moved after drama school and I was kind of ready to, act, and I found it really, I was like kind of knocking on doors and not getting many opportunities. So I was like, I'm just going to write something that is going to showcase what I can do so that people can see what I can do because no one's giving me the opportunity. So I'll just create my own opportunity. But it ended up being this really fulfilling experience where I wrote this. It was a 1 hour character monologue, so it was all just, and she was quite different from me, and just being able to kind of hold an audience's attention for an hour and be in complete control, but also having the autonomy of being the producer and funding it and being the writer as well. And then so when I came out afterwards, and people would say, well done, or how much the work meant to them or how it affected them, like it was quite a poignant piece, so a lot of people would cry. I just felt really, it's the most fulfilled I've ever felt as an actor. And also when you're doing all those other things like writing and producing and trying to get people to come to opening night and get a sponsor for the wine, and like the acting kind of takes the back seat, and because you're like, oh, I've got that, like the acting's fine, I've just got to figure out everything else. So that in a way was really cool because it took the focus off the acting, and I didn't kind of worry about it like I normally might. So it's definitely something I am looking to get back into. It's kind of, the irony is that it started opening doors for me, and then I've been so busy ever since that I haven't really gone back to writing. But I definitely want to write for screen now, and I'd love to produce again because producing was something that I really, really enjoyed as well.
That's amazing. And that was my follow-up question was, could you see yourself, writing more, producing more, and kind of like, having that extra also added back to your wheelhouse. So that's really
Yeah,
amazing. And have you
definitely.
found since you had to create this opportunity yourself, have you found that things have gotten better, like for yourself or just in the industry as a whole? Or do you still find that, like, yes, you're getting things, but you still have to, and maybe even just want to create roles and opportunities for yourself?
Yeah, I think the interesting thing is this was like 2014, 2015. So at the time, I'm in Australia, the way you kind of wanted to get noticed was you'd make like a solo theatre show, and you would invite casting directors and directors and theatre companies to come see it. But I think now, I think the industry's changed a bit in that I notice a lot of young actors will make a short film,
Mm.
and they will do that, put that on the festival circuit and send that link to get noticed. I also notice other actors might sort of create a TikTok account and create funny videos to get noticed. So I think the focus maybe has transitioned more to screen than kind of solo theatre work. But I think I just think, as an actor, it's so important to have agency and have autonomy and be in control of your career and your time and not feel like you're waiting for the phone to ring. So it's definitely something that yeah, really want to get back into. I've been doing classes at Groundlings. I'm currently doing so, and that has been a great foundation because I think it's going to lead to sketch writing and character work, and I think that's going to be a great avenue to get back into writing again.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Out of all the roles that you've played so far, whether, in the one woman show, whether on screen, is there one that when you think about it has been the most kind of transformative or the most challenging that you have had to tackle so far?
Oh yeah, I have maybe I have four favorites. I have like, because every time I play a role, it's sort of like they expand you in a way and they stay with you. And I've tended to play, particularly in theatre, characters who are maybe like low status or a bit sort of naive or bit neurotic. And so I played a character called Sharon in a play called Detroit. That one really stayed with me. I played Elaine Robinson in The Graduate with Jerry Hall, which was also a really beautiful one. And then the one I wrote, River, yeah, she lives in my heart. All those three, they kind of like just, and then a TV role, I played this character called Genevieve in Class of '07, and she was kind of like the class, I guess she was bullied, and yeah, so there was one day when I did have to cry on set, and I kind of couldn't stop crying because I felt so sorry for her. So sometimes when characters kind of find their way into your heart, you never forget them. So, but one of the hardest roles I played was a character called Kimberly in this play called Feather in the Web, and I didn't really leave the stage for like maybe 80 minutes, and it was so hard. I think I got like adrenal fatigue at
Wow.
the end of it. I'm not sure I was really taking care of myself. Anyway, you look at photos and it's like I don't know. I think I just was not looking after I look kind of like in a state of distress, but I ended up winning a Sydney Theatre Award for it, so
So it was
it
all
all
worth
paid
it.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's amazing.
yeah.
And I was wondering, in terms of, your acting and your writing, what helps you to stay passionate about it all?
I really love. I mean, I think it's important. So I kind of realized in my 20s that it was really important that I used to be like, I'm an actor, blah, blah, blah. But now I'm like, I'm a human being and I act. I think it's really important to keep those things separate
Right.
and not kind of attach my identity to being an actor. So the things I love to do to kind of stay inspired are like, I love people watching, going to the museum, going to the art gallery, going seeing foreign films, and just getting a bus and or a train and just like watching people. I love reality TV. Like really keeps me kind of like I don't know. I find if I watch like movies or TV, I can't relax. I'm always thinking like, oh, look at the lighting. I wonder how many shots this took. So if I watch reality TV, I can kind of switch off. And yeah, just kind of hanging out with friends and seeing family. And I love to kind of like pick a place on a map and go driving and check it out. And yeah, all those sorts of things keep me really inspired.
That's amazing. And I do have a question about reality TV.
Yeah.
Um, so you're a fan, and so for the our audience who wants to get to know you, what are three reality TV shows that you would recommend to them? And the next question is, if you were to create your own reality TV show, what would the premise be?
So my three reality show recommendations would be Laguna Beach, which is the OG MTV show. I would also do, I mean, you've got to do The Hills because that's the spin-off. But I also love The City, which was Whitney Port's spin-off. And then I'm going to throw in Siesta Key, Newport Harbor, which were also, I'm giving you lots now.
That's okay. That's okay. That's
Siesta
good.
Key and Newport Harbor. And you've got to do Very Cavallari,
Mm,
which is Kristen Cavallari's 3 seasons before she got the divorce.
yes.
You've got to watch it. Oh, and you've got to do you've got to do Vanderpump Rules, what's the season? What do they call it? Scandival season.
Yes, that was a
Got to
good
watch that
one.
one knowing that there was an affair going on, and you've got to watch the Cavallari one knowing that they were on the edge of getting a divorce. Oh, and my favorite, what show I would make? I
Yes.
think I would love to see. I think you could definitely do a really good TV reality show set at a drama school because drama school training is pretty cool in that regard. There's a lot of kind of like there's high stakes. It's kind of like a competition. Also, there's a lot of interrelationships and parties and that sort of stuff. I recently watched an Amazon Prime show called Dance Life, I think, which was about the dance school Brent Street in Australia, which I thought really did a good job. But I also would love to see a show like about Aussie actors coming to Hollywood. I think that would be interesting. There was one show called Next Stop Hollywood, which did 1 season, which I really loved. But I think something that kind of like followed people a bit longer would
Hmm.
be cool.
I guess this one is my final question for you.
Mhm.
So, your career so far, from your first like performance that you can remember to now, how would you say that you've grown as an actor and a writer and how you approach your different roles that you take on?
I think my approach has been pretty consistent in like what I learned at drama school. I kind of still use those skills and techniques now. Um, there's this quote I love, which is, I think Meryl Streep may have said it, but I give my characters as much respect as I would give my own life.
Mm,
If you play a character, you don't treat it like a character, you treat it like a real person. And so there's been those sorts of things that I've kind of started out doing and I've kind of kept doing, which I think has been cool. But I think as an actor and a writer, the thing that I've grown in confidence in my ability, confidence that I'm good enough to make a career out of it, and also my resilience to handle obstacles and rejection. The longer I've been doing this, it's like a muscle that's just gotten stronger and stronger. So now any kind of hurdles or obstacles or speed bumps or rejection or anything that kind of comes along, I know I can handle it because I've handled so many things before. So it's like nothing really rattles me too much anymore. So, but yeah, I think confidence in myself has grown. I find like when I graduated drama school, I thought like I would be like go straight to Hollywood, and some actors do, and it goes really well, and some actors do, and they burn out pretty quick. And I'm really grateful that my journey has been so long to get to where I am because it meant that by the time I did step on a set with Mark Wahlberg, I felt like I was ready and I knew what I was doing and I knew who I was as an actor and a person, and I was comfortable in my skin and I wasn't kind of going to be I guess like pushed around or influenced too much like by Hollywood or the standards or whatever. Like I felt like pretty sure of myself. So yeah, I'm grateful that it's taken the route it has to get here.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for your time. It was a pleasure to meet you virtually.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all your questions and thanks for asking me about reality TV.
Oh,
That
anytime,
made my
anytime.
day.